Hey y'all, I'm Alex. I'm going to be talking about how Havilah changed me in my walk with Christ. I went into Havilah with a search for, almost like a movie-like presence of God. I almost desired Him to physically be in the presence with me, in my spiritual life. And I went in, and that was the main thing that I wanted to focus on in Havilah, is I want to feel the presence of God. The first night was very blessed. I felt the emotions, the whole altar call scenario, and then we get to the second night, and just for me personally, it was very dry. It was very dry, and well, at least what I considered in the time to be dry. I felt like I didn't feel the presence of God, and in my search, I didn't want to walk out of Havilah with the same question I walked in. So I went to a brother and I asked, hey, can we talk? Can you pray for me? And we prayed about the presence and for God to fill me with the presence. Towards the end, a different brother walked in. We continued praying, and I almost felt like the Lord was speaking through him. The words he said were, I feel like what you're looking for is the emotion, the altar call state of the presence of the Lord. You're looking for the tears, but true maturity in your spiritual walk with Christ is when you have faith and when you know that the presence of God is still with you, even though you're not sobbing, or even though you're not being overwhelmed with this presence in your spiritual life. And so to me, I didn't walk out of Havilah with what I was searching for, but I walked out with this almost new peace in my mind. I walked out with a new peace, and that was one of the main times in Great Commission. That was one of the main nights that led me to one of my biggest breakthroughs.
So before Havilah, I really prayed and asked God to speak to me and to open up my eyes. And He really did do that, but not in a way I thought He would. So fast forward to Tuesday prayer, I'm praying and I'm like, God, here I am, time for you to speak to me. And nothing was happening. And I got so scared because my expectations and standards for Havilah were up here. They were really high. And so I continued to pray, and I'm like, God, why aren't you speaking to me? I surrender everything to you. And as I say that, a thought comes in my head, and I'm thinking, what am I actually surrendering to God? And then another thought comes into my head, and I'm like, God knows me better than I know myself. So I pray, and I'm like, God, reveal to me things I still have yet to surrender to you, or things that I'm still holding on to, trying to control myself. And I kid you not, as I'm saying this, somebody comes, puts their hand on my shoulder, and starts bringing up these things that I had bottled up that I didn't even know I completely forgot about. And then they start bringing up things that I'm still trying to hold on to, still trying to control with my own strength. And as they're saying these things, my eyes light up. And I completely was just in shock. I was like, Lord, yes, this is what I wanted. Thank you for speaking to me. You can have it all. You could have my pain. You could have my doubt, all my burdens, and even the future that I'm trying to hold on to. And I realized that God was knocking on that door, and He really wanted to take all that burden off my shoulders. And He wanted me to realize that I might not know my future, but His plan for me is going to be way better than anything I have ever planned for myself.